And again, I'm not terribly familiar with the special stage rings in this zone, which is kind of weird, because I think they're just well hidden in this one for once, actually, because actually if you're playing Sonic and Knuckles alone, which I actually did a lot as a kid, so yeah, kind of going, I guess, back into my personal history with this game, I did not actually own Sonic the Hedgehog 3 as a little kid. I had Sonic 1, I had Sonic 2, and I had Sonic and Knuckles, but I did not actually own Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I rented it frequently, so anytime I wanted to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which was quite often, I would just rent it whenever I wanted to do that. But, yeah, otherwise, though, when I wasn't renting Sonic 3, I was just playing through Sonic and Knuckles alone. So, honestly, you would think, like, yeah, I really should know the special stage rings in this level, but I don't know, I just never found most of them. Like, I know of one, I think, that's near the end of this stage. But other than that, yeah. Actually, that's another thing I didn't consider with the stages lined up like this. It's going to be tougher to get the rings in the second half of the game. Once we get into the Sonic and Knuckles levels, that's one fewer stage to get the rings, or to get the emeralds. Which is fine, I suppose, since, like I said, I don't know where most of the rings are in this one anyways. But, yeah. And honestly, or I'll get to that later on, I guess. Okay, this is it, the final special stage. Let's not screw this up this time. And actually, should almost call serious time yet again, because this is, I'd say this is definitely the trickiest of the special stages in Sonic 3. Because, yeah, the special stages are basically divided in half. You've got the Sonic 3 special stages, you got the Sonic and Knuckles special stages, and there's definitely a significant ramp up in complexity between the Sonic 3 special stages and the Sonic 3 the Sonic and Knuckles special stages. The Sonic 3 ones tend to be a lot more linear, a lot kind of simpler to navigate. Although the last couple, you actually have a fair bit of, like, yeah, basically the first, like, 5 special stages in Sonic 3 are, like, pretty simple, pretty linear. You can just grab the nearest blue sphere and you're basically good to go. Whereas in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they're kind of more labyrinthine, almost. A lot trickier to navigate, which, although, yeah, now that the speed is kicked up, kind of gotta start paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, hey, I actually got, what was that, a continue, I guess. Okay, and I believe it's just, actually, I don't know. Okay, so there's 5, 6, 7. Okay, so another one of those. Is it straight ahead? No. Apologies for the break-off in commentary, and of course I'm probably interrupting all sorts of trains of thought that I'm not going to remember once we come back to the game proper, but yeah, there we go. Last emerald. And yeah, now we can go supersonic. Oh god, there's so much stuff to talk about in these games. Honestly, and this, considering that this is kind of 2 games sort of taped together, or it's certainly the longest Sonic game by far, and even then, I don't know that I'm gonna have enough time going through this game to talk about all the stuff I want to talk about. It's just, it's an epic experience, really. Like, Sonic 1 and 2, like, they're kind of, you know, your first time through those games, I guess, it can be kind of arduous, can take a bit of effort, but once you learn those games, it's kind of a breeze. I mentioned, especially in my Sonic 2 LP, just how quick and breezy that game can be. Like, Sonic 2, most of the zones don't take any longer. Like, yeah, like most zones, like entire zones, Act 1, Act 2, you can beat in like a minute and a half, or about 3 minutes. You'll typically won't take any longer than 90 seconds per act, usually even shorter. You just go like from zone to zone to zone, bing bang boom, don't even spend that much time in each zone. And and again, I kind of liked that. The pacing was pretty neat, just that constant sense of variety, constantly moving forward at a fast pace. I went on about that in my Sonic 2 LP, but yeah, Sonic 2 was all about the speed. It was like Sonic 1, it was kind of this slow-paced obstacle course thing. They had the basic physics engine, but they didn't quite have the identity of Sonic, not as a character, but as Sonic the Hedgehog as a game. They didn't have quite, like, the identity of the game solidified yet. They had, like, kind of the speed gimmick in the ads, but they didn't have it in the game just yet. Like, they had Sonic as a speedy character, as marketing wise, but it wasn't quite present in the game yet. Sonic 2 was the game where they really started to emphasize like the speed and just like the quick, breezy, blitz through kind of style of the Sonic games. And then Sonic 3... Oops, oh dear. I screwed that up royally. My goodness. Anyways, Sonic 3, they kind of pulled it back again, but kind of kept a lot of the good stuff from Sonic 2. Man, I'm actually going to end up 3-cycling this jerk. Man. Oh, he's going again. Oh, man. Oh, it's been ages since I've failed to 1-cycle this guy. How embarrassing. This should get him. There we go. Anyways, yeah. And basically, it kind of returns... Like, don't get me wrong, I do like the fast pace of Sonic 2. It's just kind of neat. It has its own distinct flavor. Each of the Sonic games, just in terms of level design, in terms of overall progression, each of the Genesis Sonic games, I think, kind of has its own subtle flavor that really makes them... Okay. Really makes them kind of distinct from each other. One neat little trick here, so you'll see, as with in the original prototype order, kind of makes sense. You have Sonic busting out of the flying battery zone, and he actually snowboards on a door that he carried down with him from the flying battery zone. So that sprite's been changed from the original, which is really a nice little touch. I actually really like kind of that logical progression that this zone order adds. So that's a neat little thing. Sadly, you'll notice that we've replaced... oh yeah, we just get 50 rings now that we've got... Yeah, special stage rings just get us 50 rings. Oh, you know what? Okay, so that's another neat little trick. So there's a couple neat little things that have been added here. So yeah, the zone order gives us the little snowboarding on the flying battery door, which is pretty cool. We've got the PC version music here, which sadly replaces the Ice Cap Zone music. I know a lot of you guys out there are fans of the original Genesis Ice Cap Zone music. It really is one of the best themes in the game. Probably, I don't know, honestly, there's so many tracks in Sonic 3 and Knuckles that I'd say would be like my second favorite behind Hydrocity, and Ice Cap is certainly in the running. It's just about, yeah, probably about my second favorite track in the game, the Ice Cap Zone music. Probably Act 1 over Act 2, but again, you guys know the Ice Cap Zone music, I'm sure. If you don't, just look it up on YouTube. Okay. Looks like they didn't quite get all of the bugs out of this version of the game, I suppose. Oh, that actually ended up being kind of a little shortcut, though. That's kind of funny. Although, actually, those kinds of those kind of glitches where you get stuck in the walls are sadly reasonably common in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and actually they're a bit less common in Sonic and Knuckles. Like when you combine Sonic 3 alone has a lot of places where you tend to get stuck in walls if you're kind of going through at a decent clip. Sonic and Knuckles actually kind of fixed the physics in some of those areas a little bit. So there's kind of fewer areas where you tend to get stuck in walls like that, and Sonic 3 Complete fixes even more of those kinds of problem areas, but alas, you can see that some of them still do exist. As much as, you know, kind of the modern Sonic games have that reputation of, you know, being horrendous, glitchy messes, there was a little bit of that even back in the day. Anyways, okay, and another improvement that the Sonic 3 Complete version is just a little quality of life improvement. So the way that Super Sonic worked in the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles is basically you double tap in the air and that makes you supersonic. What that means is since basically pressing jump, double tapping jump is the way to do all sorts of things. You get your insta shield by double tapping jump. You get your shield powers by double tapping jump. You get you get to fly with Tails. You get to glide with Knuckles. All sorts of things occur by double tapping jump in this game, and you lose access to all of those once you unlock Supersonic. From then on, you can't use your shield, or at least once you get 50 rings. Once you get 50 rings, instead of activating your shield powers or whatever, you turn into Supersonic instead, because the way to turn into Supersonic is the same way to activate your shield powers. So they changed up the controls a little bit or at least optionally. Again, if you're a purist, you can switch it off in the options menu. But yeah, they switched up the controls so that in order to change into Supersonic in Sonic 3 Complete, if you have the multi-button input option enabled, you can change it so that to transform into Supersonic requires you to press a different button in the air. So basically, and actually I can show that off once I get 50 rings, because there's no way I'm losing these rings, because I am baller at this game. Yeah, that should happen in just a moment here. Yeah, basically, yeah, normally it didn't matter what button you pushed. You would just transform into Supersonic. Oh, man. Hey, yeah, going off of those little ramps there is also pretty glitchy in Sonic 3 sometimes, and sadly Sonic 3 Complete didn't correct those quite as much as the wall sticking glitches. So yeah, normally this insta-shield here that I'm doing... Oh, Tails assist. Thank you, Tails, but I didn't quite up for that just yet. Normally that insta-shield would transform me to Supersonic, but instead I gotta press one button to jump in the air, and then press a different button when you're in the air. So it's like you press A to jump, and then press a different button in midair to transform to Supersonic. So that basically makes it so that you have manual control over when you go Supersonic. And additionally, there's another option, which again, a different option, which again you can turn off in the options menu. Normally, in the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles, once you were Supersonic, that's it. You are Supersonic until you run out of rings or until the act is over. You're just stuck as Supersonic. Whereas there's an option you can enable, which is a brand new thing to Sonic 3 Complete, where you can basically input the command to become Supersonic a second time, and you can transform back. Here we go, Supersonic, not Supersonic. Oh, and actually another thing, this is actually... So, and again, you might hear some new music that you might not be familiar with when I went Supersonic there, because yeah, normally when you go Supersonic, it just plays the stupid invincibility theme from Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, depending on what you're playing. That's just an infinite, like, especially in Sonic and Knuckles, I hate the Supersonic music, and I guess by I don't know, property of transference, I don't know what to call it. Basically, yeah, the Supersonic theme in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is like on like a 3-second loop. It's just like so it's done like a 5-second loop, and that's like all there is to it. That bit that I hummed there, it just repeats that over and over and over and over and over again, which is really just gets annoying after a while. And okay, here's another one. Launch Base Zone has different music. This one comes from the PC version as well. Although, interestingly enough, that special Supersonic music I was talking about, because yeah, you notice we didn't get the invincibility music for Supersonic. We got a unique theme song there, which is theme music, I guess. There's no lyrics to it. Although, I don't know, it does almost have... like an anime, like I don't know, when I first... Anyways, the Supersonic theme music is actually unique to Sonic 3 Complete. It is a unique composition that they added to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Complete, to this ROM hack. Which is, yeah, just basically to replace the stupid infinite 5-second loop that was really annoying from the original games, which is a nice, a really lovely little addition. Honestly, again, I think that the composition here doesn't quite hold up to the quality of the original, just the tunes in general from the original. Oh, come on, I totally insta-shielded there, come on. Anyways, it's not quite as good as like most of the other Sonic 3 tunes, but it's certainly better than the Invincibility theme, at least, and less annoying, so I'm fine with it. And actually, it's not a bad little tune, actually. I rather like it. And actually, I kind of like the Launch Base Zone here as well. It kind of has just like the intro to it. It has this kind of bombastic, almost kind of military march theme to, it's almost reminiscent of the Wing Fortress Zone from Sonic 2, actually. It almost doesn't sound quite appropriate for like a final zone. You might expect something a little more, I don't know, ominous or intimidating or energetic. I don't know. Like, just to listen to it. I don't know if you guys can even hear the music that well over my blabbing, to be honest, now that I think about it, but if you... Anyways, sorry, if I'm being too loud, you can go out on YouTube and listen to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles PC version music. Oh, incidentally, I think this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time I've gotten the the Electro Spheres bonus stage. Yeah, the bonus stage you get is basically dependent on the number of rings that you have. After certain ring thresholds, you get a different bonus stage. This is actually a really oops, dang it, a really convenient one if you're. Basically, this is the once you master this special stage, because this special stage has the same layout every time, and once you get good at it, you can collect rings and extra lives like crazy in this one. At least if you get lucky. I've gotten a little bit unlucky this time around. Yeah, and I suck at it too. That sucked. Anyways, once you get to the top of that stage, though, you've got a guaranteed 1-up. At least one guaranteed 1-up, and if you're very skillful, 2 1-ups if you make it to the end and get both of the final balloons there. Oh, almost ripped it out with a spin dash there, but... I actually can't tell yet if this is the Sonic 3 or the Sonic 3 and Knuckles version of this level just yet. Oh, I think I'm going backwards. Yeah, I'm going backwards. Yeah, there we go. That's how we want to do it. Oh wow, I actually went backwards quite a ways here. This is actually kind of an annoying level to get through your first time. Okay, let's do it this way. Yeah, supersonic. Listen to that lovely, lovely supersonic music. Which again, if you can even hear it over my constant blabbering. Oh, I think I missed it again. Did I get... Oh. Okay, so it's the funny thing about this music here is it actually kind of reminds me. It almost sounds like a 90s like anime J-pop theme. Like it sounds like something out of like Slayers or okay. This okay. We got a troll spring here. This is definitely the Sonic 3 version of this level. Anyways, yeah, I don't know the way this song sounds. It's all got kind of like a 90s J-pop feel to it. I almost feel like Megu, what's her name? Megumi Hayashibara should be doing the vocals to this to this tune or something. And actually, there's a particular part of this song that actually specifically reminds me of a particular J-pop song. If I can remember what part in the song it occurs in. Anyways, there's a part of the song where it goes like, oh, I don't remember exactly how it goes. In fact, I'm going to be quiet for a second so we can listen to it right here. Right where it does it there, it's like or something like that. Whatever it did when I said right after I said right there, or right before when I said right there. It I don't know, that little part of one little part of the supersonic music here reminds me of oh my god, I forget the name of the song. Damn it, I think it was called My Will. I don't know. The first ending theme from Inuyasha, and I guess I'm just outing myself here. Yeah, I used to watch Inuyasha all the time on Cartoon Network when I was a kid back in high school. I was a big anime fan. I was big into Inuyasha back then. That was my jam.